The Mishkan was finally complete, and it was time to start using it. The Nesiim, the princes of the Jewish people, decided that they would bring a series of karbanos, a series of offerings, as part of the inauguration of the Mishkan. And each Nasi decided that they would bring a number of animals, they would bring a number of spices, meal offerings, gold and silver. But each Nasi decided to bring the same thing as all the other Nasiim, as all the other princes. Although they all brought elaborate karbanos, each one was exactly the same. Perhaps they were coming to show a united front, that they could have each tried to outdo the other one, but instead they decided that if they just tried to outdo the other one, then the whole thing would be about themselves. And truly what they wanted was that this inauguration of Hashem's house should be about His honor and not their own honor. But when you look at the psukim, when you look at the verses which describe the sacrifices, the Torah goes into incredible detail about each karban, each sacrifice, and then repeats those same details for each Nasi. Instead of just writing that each Nasi brought the following karban, the Torah repeats all the details of the karban for each Nasi. Why does the Torah do that? We know that the Torah does not use extra words. Why did the Torah feel it necessary to repeat the same details 12 times? So if you look at the Medrash goes into great length to show that each karban, each sacrifice, each series of offerings, although they were physically the same, each Nasi had a different intent when he was bringing those karbanos. One was bringing those karbanos to represent Torah, one was bringing it to represent the Mishkan, one was bringing it to represent the Jewish people. And although their karbanos were physically the same, but their intents were completely different. And I think the Nesiim are teaching us a very, very powerful lesson. That although we all are commanded to do the same mitzvos, although we all are commanded to do the same 613 commandments, but that doesn't mean that all our divine service has to be exactly the same. There are those that believe that in order for their Torah to be unique, in order for their service of Hashem to be special, then they have to dilute the Torah, or they have to change some of the words of the Torah, heaven forbid. The Nesiim are telling us that that's not true. You can have 12 people doing the exact same act, and for each one of them, this act was very personal. For each one of them, this act was unique and represented who they were, represented each of their strengths, and represented each of their experiences and the experiences of their tribe. And the same thing has to apply to our divine service as well. Although we all have the same commandments, although we might all do the same things, we have to find our ways to make our divine service special and unique to us. Yes, we all might study Torah, but studying Torah can come in many different forms. For some, it's delving into ancient texts. For others, it's studying with a chavrusa, and for others, it's watching a video class online. We all have to do acts of kindness, but how do you do acts of kindness? For some people, it's simply writing a check. For other people, it's changing a tire. And for other people, it's calling that lonely neighbor who really needs our phone call. We all have to keep Shabbos. And we all have to honor the Shabbos. How do we honor the Shabbos? Some people might focus more on having gourmet food to show the honor of Shabbos. Other people might decide that it's more appropriate to set up an amazing decor and to dress up in fancy clothes in their houses. For some people, Shabbos might be about spending it with guests when it's appropriate to do so and safe to do so. And for others, it might be about having a time which is purely focused on family. Although all the mitzvahs are the same, there's so much room for creativity and uniqueness within our service of Hashem. And during the time of this pandemic, this is all the more important. We have to find ways to be more creative, and we have to find new ways to increase our divine service. And this doesn't just mean having service, divine service, which is second best. This doesn't just mean that we're pushing off things until we can get back to normal, but the way we serve Hashem today is not really the way it's supposed to be done. This is about finding creative ways to make our service of Hashem, our study of Torah, our doing of the mitzvos during this period just as special as it was when we had, so to speak, life as normal. So if before we had Torah classes and now those Torah classes are virtual, let's find ways to use technology to make those classes more engaging and more exciting. If before we were doing acts of kindness, let's find ways to do acts of kindness not only to the people around us, but to the people who are perhaps farther away. But because of the extra use of technology, that distance has been decreased. If before we had events, let's find ways to make those events have more of a sense of unity by being able to include more people. And in anything we do in all of our divine service, we're able to have that extra level of creativity, and we're able to find new and exciting ways, all within the laws of the Torah, all within the context of halacha, about how we can make our avodas Hashem even more special during this period. So let's never make our Judaism cookie cutter Judaism, even when we're all making cookies. Let's find new and exciting ways to serve Hashem. Let's find creative ways to serve Hashem. And let's find ways to serve Hashem that are special for us, that are unique for us, and represent truly who we are and all our special talents and all our special strengths. And let's serve Hashem stronger and stronger every single day. Have a great Shabbos.